so mad there's no control.
Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you live under a rock,
I might
you
grab
are
a bat, I
looking
don't
at
know,
the
my rap, my
youngest
blood
and fastest
boils
rising
over like,
star in
oh God, here
professional
goes. I
wrestling
lost all
today.
feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you gon' wish you was fucked up real bad. Shut up.
Be the villain! And I have no problem at all, because I couldn't care less if you like me or not. I'm here for success, and there's no one more successful than Grayson Waller.
Where do you come off doing that?
Because I'm me. Because
That's
I'm me.
why.
The Heal the Ring podcast. A lot has happened here in the world of wrestling. But salute everyone. I am BX Sports Jedi Kev. In tonight with me, my partner, Jay. Good evening, Jay, who is with us tonight.
Good evening, Kev, and I can't, it's been a rough day, I would say, for the world of wrestling. And also, guys, welcome to the Heel of the Ring podcast, either if you're watching on YouTube or anywhere else, and also on the audio platform. Welcome.
Indeed. Thank you so much, guys. Well, the cat is out of the bag. This is something that we cannot no longer pretend that it has not happened. Vincent Kennedy McMahon has returned as chairman of the board of the World Wrestling Entertainment. Although everyone's speculating if he's going to return as creative, if he's going to return, what is his role? He ensured the talent. He ensured the board meeting that it's going to be only on a board meeting to help the sale of the World Wrestling Entertainment and also get a TV deal. So there's a lot of suitors now the WWE becomes a company for sale. Jay, what's your thoughts on that? Do you believe Vincent Kennedy McMahon is just going to be on board, just a board member, the chairman?
Right now, I kind of believe him. But at the same time, you know how I am. I cannot believe Vincent at all. But I want to be nice. I don't want to be rude to Vince. But welcome back to the WWE, I guess.
Absolutely, pal. Well, listen, I'm thinking that if he returns some capacity to the board with his experience, it could only do nothing but help the product. When I mean relations wise, with the TV deals, if the WWE wants to get another massive television deal, no matter even if they're selling or not selling, he could felicitate it quicker with Peacock. He has relationships with the NBC universe, especially with the Peacock network, going back to the early 80s from when they had Saturday Night Main Event, the USA Network. It helps those relations with him on the board, knowing that his wisdom and his knowledge will be there. But I don't think a 77-year-old man, Vincent McMahon, wants to travel night in, night out from city to city. Now, since WWE is going global, Jay, going down, we mentioned it last time here on our podcast, they're going now, they're expanding to London, possibly France. We know there was an event in India that was supposed to take place at the beginning of the year, last weekend. It didn't perspire, it didn't come to fruition, but I don't think the man wants to be able. He looks healthy as a wit, but still, One thing you cannot beat is father time, and I don't think he wants to go back and forth and be part of the creative, writing every storyline, every detail, putting the way he is fine tuning. I think that this is the thing for him to be on the board. Let him come back into Titan Towers, give him his desk or an office, give him a couple of interns there where he could just try to get him coffee, get what the man needs, and just live out the remaining few years. Just being part of the board and just thinking he's part of the a company that he built.
Yeah. I definitely don't see him coming back. As creative, head of creative, and globally traveling. I don't see it as a 77-year-old male. No, I don't. And all these people on Twitter, everybody in the IWC is freaking out because Vince McMahon is back. I'm not over here freaking out. When I heard about it the first time when he wanted to come back as head of creative, then that's when I wanted to freak out. But now that he's back in the board of directors as chairman and just pretty much just here to make business deals, I'm fine with it. I'm
He's
fine
a
with
smart
it.
man.
Of course, he's a smart man, and as the TV deals are up in October of 2024, it's a good time to start looking for new deals, possibly expand to another TV company, another place, or continue on with Fox and USA and Peacock.
Absolutely, those relationships. For Vince McMahon to have his product on three major platforms. You could want USA. No matter what we say, is still a major platform. But putting his product on three major platforms, and plus on the premium app for Peacock, that's a smart man making all the money there. Providing the WWE. It's all about making money. At the end of the day, if you make money, everyone makes money. Performers make money. Cameraman, ring announcers, even the setup equipment, everybody, pyro. So if he's there and he's helping them make money, stock, by the way, went up. It went up. They
It went up
soar as soon
12.
as yep, 12%. It went up and
12.
probably more by the end of the day. That's the last time I saw it. So that's a positive all in all. But as long as he's not part of the day to day business to business run that it was before, the responsibilities he had, I think they'll be okay there. Is there a panic? Absolutely. Should you be worried? Just 25%, maybe concerned that he
Maybe
might
50-50.
interject. Man, I don't think 50. I'm gonna say 25%. Again, he is 78 years old. I'm 77 years old to go in there and he took already some time off and you could say he got a little cold. He might be itchy to come back and do something, run the board and all the other and the business deals, using his contacts, but I don't see that now. Now, I know there's been reports and I have read and I've seen from some of the so-called wrestling talking heads, like the preservers and the Brian Meltzers of the world. I'm not saying it's coming from him, but those type of guys that they say they're in the know, they know. Sometimes they don't know nothing. They were saying that one of the possible buyers for WWE, of course, you mentioned that their usual suspects: Fox, Disney, Amazon, more global companies that have the money to purchase the WWE, which is about $6 million. They say it might go for, and not, of course, like I said before, I'm 5,999,999 away from purchasing WWE, but nevertheless, um, they're talking about Saudi Arabians,
Yeah, the
the
Saudi
live from
Arabian funds. Yes.
funds from the live golf tournament, possibly, but they were saying also it comes with a catch. WWE will no longer be a publicly owned company. It'll be private back again. And part of the deal is Vince McMahon is in control of WWE if that's the case. Now, I don't know if that's just a lot of propaganda for not allowing them to buy WWE, not wanting them as a buyer. But you know what? Right now, it's all hearsay, speculation. It's just as good as throwing something against the wall, see if it sticks.
Yeah, and everybody on there, like, I don't want to name drop these people, but people are saying maybe 3 to 6 months we'll see possibly a WWE sale and possibly someone like how you said it, Amazon, Disney, Fox, the usual, and then we have the Saudi Arabia funds. Maybe we could possibly see um another sale, and it's going to be a whole different WWE. If Saudi Arabia buys it, is it really going to be staying in Saudi Arabia the whole time? No, I don't.
No.
Yeah, no. And I spoke to some people last night about it, and I told them, hey, As long as he's not head of creative and as long as he's not firing people for quote unquote budget cuts, I'm fine with him being there. As long as he doesn't do what he did before, hey, come in, do what you need to do, and get out. That's all you got to do. I don't see Vince McMahon staying for like 5 years. If he's not going to sell the company, I don't see him staying there for 5 years. I could see him probably stay there for 2, 3 years, possibly when he's 80. I don't see him spending the rest of his life in office.
Okay, let me ask this question. I know everybody quickly. Oh, man, Vince is being selfish. All the adjectives, all the words coming with the slings and arrows that's coming with Vince McMahon coming back. Has anyone ever asked the question? Maybe Stephanie or Paul Levesque, aka Triple H. Maybe they don't want to do this. They took being the responsibility of head creating, writing the shows, the all the response that comes with it from being chief CFO, as Stephanie with Nick Khan. Maybe they say we don't want to really do this too much. We'll do it now to get the show rolling, but maybe that is in the best interest. I don't know. Because that never came up. It's always the slings and arrows at Vince. I'm trying to find the other side of the coin and to see could they have gone to Vince and say, we really don't want this to fail. This is your business, your baby that you created, and this is a lot. And maybe they found another level of respect. Maybe they want to sell it to get out to give someone the opportunity to purchase it and so forth. But that's a question we have to ask as well.
Yeah, of course. And, if Triple H and Stephanie, don't want to run the company and, want to, possibly like just give it up back to Vince McMahon, hey, you do you. But if you want to run this company down to the ground, by all means, I will go and be an AEW fan if I have like a invested fan if I have to. But I doubt that he's gonna come back to head of creative and all that stuff that he was before. I don't think it's gonna happen. And let me ask you a question: if they do sell the company, let's say this is all speculations. This is not saying I want them to do it. What if the Khan family buys it?
Oh, help
What?
us, Lord.
Oh my God! If the this is why I don't want Vince McMahon to sell the company, because if the Khan's like, you know what, let's do this. Tony Khan's like, you know what, let's buy this company and let's just merge AEW and WWE together. This is why maybe we shouldn't sell the company.
You never know. I like I said, I don't know what's people's budget, what's people's wallet, who can, who cannot. But there's a lot of speculation that this is mostly Shere Khan's money that's in AEW. This is like a project. Let me get my son something to do, so he could keep occupied. But I don't know if I don't. One thing is, I don't think AEW has made enough of a profit to persuade his father to want to help him buy WWE. Like, you know what? Because they don't. Billionaires are not dumb. They're there to multiply their money. When they lose a nickel, they're crying. They're calling broke. And if the AEW is not making the money that he's invested, maybe he has a budget for all elite wrestling. And if he goes, you know what? As long as my son is entertained and not sticking his nose in other affairs, maybe in the football operation or whatever the case, whatever. I don't know if he wants to invest even more money in wrestling. I don't know what Amir Khan's thoughts of the wrestling business or the numbers. If numbers tells him he's making money, which I can't believe it's the AEW. I don't believe it's making a big amount of profit. I'm pretty sure they are making a profit, but not to the amount of a billionaire liking to get into WWE. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being don't want to see the Khans own WWE because he cannot run AEW, but let alone NXT. He's gonna have the responsibility of NXT, SmackDown, Raw, and those relationships there. It's gonna be a tough one. But never say never when it comes to the wrestling business. I'm actually seeing more Dwayne Johnson. Be honest with you, Dwayne Johnson being more of a WWE owner than Tony Khan. He's been in the business. He knows how the relationships works. He knows he's well known, well liked in that celebrity entertainment area, and believe it or not, I could see, and not and the Anoli family, they've been in the business for years, for generations to generations there, and they know the etiquettes of wrestling business. So I could see more of that. To be honest with you, if with a collective group running WWE after the McMahons.
Yeah, 100%. Once if WWE ever goes up for sale, I don't want to say they're going up for sale because this is all just rumors and speculations, coming from people who actually don't know if they are going to go up for sale or not. And if The Rock wants to buy the company, which he said in the past before, he said, if the company ever goes up for sale, I will be the one to purchase it because The Rock definitely has enough money to purchase it. That's for sure. And people are like, Disney is gonna buy WWE. Do you really want to see a PG, like full blown PG, no blood, no like extreme matches? Do you really want to see that on TV? No, because we've complained about it before. It's been a long time since we've had like actual TV 14. We're seeing kind of an emergence of TV 14 coming on TV for the past few weeks, and that's getting me a little more excited. Like, are we going back to TV 14? Are we finally going to go back to that era of the WWE? But if Disney ends up buying WWE, I don't want to say we're screwed, but we're in kind of a good hands.
I
It's
think they'll be okay, no matter which
it's
way they
just fifty
go.
fifty. Yeah.
I think it's going to be all right if it goes Disney, Fox, or the main because they'll treat it as an entertainment business. They'll keep their CFOs. They'll keep whoever's in place creative. Unless if the ones that are in place don't want to work hand in hand and they find that's an out for them out of Disney and doesn't want to be part of the Disney family and they want an out. They want out of the wrestling business. Yeah, I did this long enough. I'm not really to go through a new management and now I'm out. Maybe that's the only way, but I see whoever wants to stay, they're going to offer because they know the business. Why not keep people that know the business in the business to run the business to make money? Because at the end of the day, it's all about making money. It doesn't care about what the fans think or keeping us the fans. Yes, it is to keep the fans happy with the good product on out night in night out, every live event, every arena, but also is to make sure the companies run the way the corporate structure, the way the wrestling business is supposed to run to make money. So, all in all, we'll see. There's a lot of uncertainty there. I personally think Vince McMahon is just going to be there, personally, just to, like I said, just to give the old man something to do. Go into Stamford, Connecticut, go in there, go in his office, call a couple people, make some deals. You know, let's do something, creative shows. Talk to some of these promoters across the sea, across whatever the case is, and have them boss a couple of interns around and feel, damn it, give me some coffee, pal, and just make the old man happy in his remaining days there. They'll induct him in the Hall of Fame, do whatever they need to do, trot him out possibly for a couple pay-per-views, or a couple big events once in a blue moon, and that's it. And just that's all. That's something. Let the old man just run around. Maybe we'll see him running around in NXT. Just a visit there, and just he'll probably interject a little bit of the storyline, but has nothing to do with the creative. I'm okay with it. Be honest with you, if he's not touching and be a consultant, even a consultant, it's a good job. Even if they bring Vince McMahon as a consultant, it doesn't hurt as long as he doesn't take it all. But it has to be his way, and the people in charge now could be able to have that resistance and that pushback to say, no, I don't like veto this idea. It doesn't have to be 100% his way. Hello, Dave R. Salute. I didn't see you there, so I wanted to say hello. Thank you, Mr. Dave R. Salute.
Yeah, definitely. And even if he does what he wants to do, hey, it is what it is. That's the name of the business, man. You can't get what you want. The fans really can't get what they want. And I'm surprised Vince McMahon is not even in the Hall of Fame yet. All these years he's been working, in WWE and creating all these moments and memories for us fans. I'm surprised he's not even inducted into the Hall of Fame yet. That's
He
just a
doesn't want
very
to do that. That's not his
Hey,
style.
listen, and if he comes down to NXT, you know how much people are gonna boo him if he comes out. You know,
I
you
mean,
know that
he
arena are
likes
gonna
that
boo
though.
him.
He knows that's part of the business. Look, he just
Of course.
go live in Stanford, go to
Yeah,
Titan
live in
Towers,
Stanford. Yep.
send one of his interns, stop at Davar's business, get a couple cigars, help him out there, and make man and continue to buy some good cigars and just be a good pal, man.
Yeah. All in all, Vince McMahon coming back, it's a win-win for us. We finally can get another TV deal. We
Yeah, absolutely.
possibly we could get sold. WWE can get sold to a company that it could be a good thing for us. But hey, guys, stop hating on Vince McMahon because of what he did in the past. As long as he doesn't go back to creative, like I said, we're fine. As long as he doesn't release people and he doesn't book the matches and the Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. As long as he doesn't do any of that, we're fine. Just
I
let
think
it
so.
be.
I
Yeah.
think so too. So let's get right into SmackDown. I know a lot of things happen on SmackDown. We spent a good 20 minutes on Vincent Kennedy McMahon, Vince McMahon. So we gave our thoughts and our opinions here. And I know we're gonna have talk some more with Vince, a little more on and on. But let's go right into the SmackDown edition, the January. Look at it. I wish it was July. January 6th edition of SmackDown from Memphis, Tennessee. First and foremost, I want to give kudos for Memphis to redeem itself, at least the state of Tennessee, because that Nashville crowd was a stinker. And kudos to them. Memphis was rocking early on. Of course, to start the show off for the first SmackDown of 2023, you have the Bloodline coming in here, cutting a promo. Give us your interjection here when we saw Bloodline coming in for that promo.
Yeah, when I saw Bloodline coming from a promo, I was actually getting excited because once again, the Bloodline is coming in and standing their ground. They did it for Raw. We saw that last week. Earlier this Monday. Sorry, not last week. We saw this Monday. They came in, interrupted the intro, and was just throwing stuff around. We had yesterday we had chairs thrown. We had the top of the table of the announcer table thrown. Bloodline is going to be reigning supreme this year. 2023 is Bloodline's year. Obviously, then we had Roman Reigns come out, and he came to the ring, and obviously we're all wondering, what is he going to say to Sami? Last week I was in attendance. We saw Sami Zayn pretty much, I want to say, cost Roman a loss, but he definitely had, got Roman a loss in 3 years. And that's a big deal. And Roman Reigns said, "Oh, I didn't lose. Sami lost. It still counts as a win there. Come on. It still counts. I mean, it's not a win. Sorry. It still counts as a loss there. Come on." And then we had Roman Reigns. And that kind of insults Sami, kind of scolds him, and asks him, "Hey, do you want to be the tribal chief?" Because it looks like Sami Zayn has taken the spotlight from the whole bloodline. Sami Zayn is the one that people want to see as world champion. I see a lot of people online on TikTok and Twitter, Sami Zayn's gonna beat Roman Reigns. Come on, be for real. Do you really want to see Sami Zayn as your undisputed Universal Champion? I'm pretty sure he will lose that following week. I mean, come on. Someone's gonna challenge him and he's gonna lose. But all in all, hey, Kevin Owens comes out. He saves Sami. Well, I wouldn't say save, but kind of saves Sami from being furthermore scolded, and challenges Roman to a match at Royal Rumble. I've said it earlier. I said it earlier at NXT to you, Kev. Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns is at the Royal Rumble. Now, my theory is what's going to happen. I've been thinking about this all day since last night. Sami Zayn is going to cost Roman the match. Roman Reigns is going to lose. We're all going to think Kevin Owens is going to be your new your undisputed Universal champion. But the ref's going to say, nope. The title still stays on Roman. It's not a disqualification. Something's going to happen. Someone's going to say something. Like we saw before on AEW. Let's reference to AEW. We saw, was it Bowens? I think it was Bowens. Bowens had his foot on the rope. And the match reset. I don't think the match is gonna reset. He's gonna be quote unquote crowned into champion. It's gonna go back to Roman the following night. Roman's gonna kick Sami out of the bloodline, and we're gonna visit Sami versus Roman at Elimination Chamber. And then Adam Pearce is going to strip Roman from the WWE champion and put it on Kevin Owens. And Kevin Owens is gonna defend it in an Elimination Chamber match. That's my thoughts.
All right, said a lot there. You said a lot there, and we went into the future pretty much there. But let me elaborate there. With that promo there, I know that I know when I love the line where Roman says that losing is not in his DNA, and I love that there because he blaming that loss on Sami Zayn there, and he was very upset because Sami Zayn came out and cut a really spicy promo, leading up to the tag team match that he had against Cena and Kevin Owens, and he said he what bothered him was you don't get to call your shots if you can't deliver. And when he said that, he's saying, my goodness, he looked like he was about to cry there in the ring. Like you said, I like the fact that Owens came out for the save, building a storyline. Like that's one of the storylines. What you mentioned, that's a possibility of a lot of storylines there. That's a scenario where you mentioned there. I could see that happening, and there's a lot of other or so many other different. Sami Zayn trying to redeem himself to the tribal chief, and going above and beyond to try to ensure him of a victory. All these other things there continue to cause havocs on all the shows. Where they, could it be that they could draw the line? Personally, if I was part of the creative, and for selfish reasons as well, I would have the bloodline come down and wreak havoc on NXT, where and where Adam Pearce has no other choice to repercussions, a strip of the Raw titles due to the fact that they're interfering because they went in and they beat up on developing talent supposedly in NXT. You have them there and you see, and we weren't done with you, and he knocks the crap out of him, put him in the trash in the garbage bin to Andre Chase, and then they break the flag and throw the flag in the garbage and all that, and you went down to the university, the Chase University, and you beat the living crap out of it. That would be
You just
perfect.
want to see them. You just want to see the university go down.
You know, that's just a beautiful thing, and you could set that up, and that's another storyline there. But let's get back on track to the SmackDown. Yeah, I love that part there. Sami Zayn, Owens set that up, and there's going to be more to this storyline as we continue the night with it's not over between Roman, Sammy, Kevin Owens, and the Bloodline. So we get to finally our first match, but we get a backstage promo when we saw Legado Fantasma, where Santo Escobar meeting up with New Day in the middle of the backstage. Of course, they went back and forth, talk about time and Escobar, which eventually led up to a match, Kofi Kingston versus Santo Escobar. When I saw that, I was like, "Ooh, that's gonna be a good one. That's a banger after banger after banger."
Yeah, definitely. And Santos saying that to, Kofi Kingston, that he's legendary in the Royal Rumble. We've seen it before, and we'll possibly see it again. Kofi Kingston pulling off these crazy stunts to not get eliminated from the Rumble, and Santos saying, "I'm going to eliminate you from the Royal Rumble." It gets me excited, and we already Kofi was the first person actually this year to announce that he's in the Royal Rumble, so that's a W for us. And the match was pretty good. I like the match. I like the match, and we've seen both Santos and Kofi are trying to eliminate each other in the match. We've seen Kofi do what he did before. I don't remember which Royal Rumble it was from, but he does a handstand and puts his feet onto the stairs, and then we've
Yes.
seen Kofi Kingston throw Santos out of the ring, and his feet both touch the floor. So if that was a Royal Rumble match, Santos would be eliminated.
Yes, of course. And you see Legado Fantasma comes out, Cruz, Rakim, Selena Vega, and of course, and kudos to Xavier Woods. I hope that he actually listened to us. And on Tuesday we asked him. We were cheering and asking for Francesca, and he came out with Francesca to Memphis. Hopefully, this is a sign that he will bring it this Tuesday to New Year's Evil. And we were wanting the trombone. We were calling, "Where's Francesca?" And he acknowledged. And we kind of felt like it was NXT Universe that asked for the trombone, and we got it there on Friday Night SmackDown. So thank you, Xavier Woods. At least it made us feel good that our chance and asking for it didn't go to vain. So hopefully we see it this Tuesday. All in all, this match was really good, back and forth. These guys, they call attention because they're both, you could say, high flying, but safe workers in the ring, and it was really good. Ultimately, you see Escobar deliver the Phantom Driver for the pinfall victory, and I understand where you get a pickup of key victory for Santo Escobar. He's just got onto the SmackDown scene, part of the World Cup, almost part of the semifinals, out there to the finals. And Santo Escobar, we see what's going on here, his rise and ascension here in SmackDown. I liked it. Also, I did marked out a little when I saw they come out with the NXT tag titles. We didn't see enough of exposure with NXT when Solo Sikoa was the North American title for one Friday, and that's it. He had a title defense, and that's it. As long as you keep getting us eyeballs and letting the higher viewing show see that they are in NXT and they are the defending tag team champions, hopefully it generates eyeballs to NXT as well. That's a smart move.
Yeah, definitely, and I like Kofi and Xavier bringing out the tag titles from NXT because it brings a lot of people that haven't watched NXT before to go watch NXT because Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, or possibly even Big E, are their favorites. The whole New Day is their favorite, so they'll go and watch NXT this coming Tuesday to possibly see the New Day face to face with whoever becomes the new number one contenders for their titles. And Santos picking them to win via cheating as well, because we've seen Legado del Fantasma get involved in the match while Xavier Woods is kind of distracting the ref a little bit, talking to I forgot who he was talking to. I forgot which one. One of them. It was one of the. It was one. It was either Selena Vega or the other two that were in Legado del
It was
Fantasma.
wild, rocking
Okay.
wild.
Yeah. So it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and good job there. Like you said, this Tuesday, if they see the New Day at NXT, and when they come out, the electricity that they build in that arena in the performance center, my God, that place wants to explode. And everyone gets on their feet, everyone's clapping, everyone starts with the New Day chant, except for Brandy, but we understand why.
And Evan.
Yes, a few,
Hmm.
and Booker T. So there's a little few that are not afraid, not too much of a New Day, but everyone does, and they see how electric and how much fun it looks. That just all it's gonna do is help the product. They want to stick around and see what everyone. So they really look like they're enjoying themselves, and I think that's a smart move for the New Day. But we'll move on there. We can't wait to see them on Tuesday to see who runs that gauntlet. It's gonna be a tag team gauntlet. Three different tag teams will come out, and the remaining tag team that wins will face the New Day and Vengeance. So that's a lot of fun stuff there for Tuesday. But we'll stay here back to Friday night on SmackDown. We go back to a backstage promo. Sami Zayn wants to talk and trying to smooth things out with Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman interrupts and prevents him from coming in the locker room. You see the Usos come, give them especially Jay gives them a kind of like disappointing look, and the wise man says he loves you, but he just gave him some advice there. I don't remember that word for word, but it was like, huh? Instead of more like straightforward advice, Jay.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate to see Sami Zayn be left out of the Bloodline locker room here on SmackDown. And it's kind of leading up to what I think is going to happen at WrestleMania, which will possibly be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn against the Usos for the tag titles. And that's why the Usos came and looked disappointed in Sami. Maybe Sami sees, hey, maybe I effed up a little too much. Maybe I should try and make up. We see later in the night. I'm not going to say anything, but yeah, I don't see Sami Zayn really bleeding the bloodline for too much longer. Possibly Elimination Chambers when we possibly see, or even the Royal Rumble we see Sami Zayn leave the bloodline.
It looks like it's eventually when we won't know, but it looks like it's inevitable. So as we come back from that promo, we get a intergender match or mixed tag team match, not intergender, a mixed tag team match. Madcast Moss with Emma taking on Karrion Cross and Scarlett. One thing when this starts, one of the greatest thing is that intro, that Karrion Cross and Scarlett Bordeaux entrance is one of the nicest, best ones right now going on SmackDown, in my opinion. For the match, it was just a match between these two. I believe this is Scarlett Bordeaux's first TV title match as his TV match, excuse me, that she's done live since she's returned to the WWE. I know she's done a couple house shows, but I think this is the first televised. And she did a nice bridge there, suplex into a bridge. She did a couple other things. She's not a bad. I think actually she actually did more perform better as a wrestler than Carrion, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. And this is, it's couples versus couples, Emma and Madcap Moss are couples in real life. And so is Karrion Cross and Scarlett. So we love to see that we're getting more women and men matches kind of involved. We have last time we saw intergender match. This week we saw mixed tag match. So we love to see that now we're getting these kind of things. And yeah, I agree with you. Scarlett is kind of looking a little better than Carrion a little bit. Hey, we're not, you know, hey, I don't know. I don't know. Right now, I'm kind of in 50-50 here because I haven't seen too much of Scarlett. Because she's been doing house shows, she hasn't done any TV matches. And their entrance, I love their entrance so much. With her coming into the ring first before, and Karrion Cross walking slowly down the ramp to the ring, leading into him beating his chest in the middle of the ring, and the lights flashing with each beat. So all in all, this was a decent match, and Karrion Cross and Scarlett pick up the win here.
Yeah, so you get the cross jacket submission on Moss for the victory. After the match proceeds, you see Cross comes out and brings out a luchador mask, places on Mapcast, sending a message, and he wants a piece of Rey Mysterio Jr. So he's got Rey Mysterio's got a big target on his back, not only from the back. He wants to get Karrion Cross wants a piece of him. Dominic wants a piece of him. Rhea Ripley wants a piece of him. So there's a lot of people that want a piece of little Rey Mysterio going forward here. It'll be interesting to see. It gives you a storyline or a feud while you have up to that could lead up to Dominic in WrestleMania, and possibly even a little bit Mysteric, a little bit of that dark with Judgment Day carrying cross type of cross into it. No pun intended, where they could kind of like be allies. Especially if I'm just gonna say it here instead of just beating around the bush. Especially if Jay White signs with the WWE, you have the OCs, you could and if you want Finn Balor just to repackage, go on his own, you got a Bullet Club type of deal there. And then now you could bring Karrion Cross could fit into Judgment Day with Scarlett, with Rhea if she's becomes women's champion, whatever the case is, and you could kind of keep that group alive, with Mysterio and Dominic Dominic and Karrion being for hire to torment Ray in SmackDown. So just a thought there, just something out there. I don't think it's going that way. Just me, just chasing something that's not there, maybe, but it seems like it. But it wouldn't surprise me. That's a way of moving things around. But it all happens with Jay White if he doesn't sign back with New Japan Wrestling.
Yeah, definitely. I can see Karrion Cross and Judgment Day kind of fit there, especially Dominic and Karrion Cross, both and Rhea, both wanting Rey Mysterio. Uh, yeah, definitely. I agree with what you say there.
Yes, and then we see a backstage promo with LA Knight cuts a promo about his Mountain Dew Pitch Dark match against Bray Wyatt and all Uncle Howdy and all the different things. Once again, this guy, what took so long for LA Knight to be here on this roster, to be injected to the WWE? Just think of him maybe a year or 2 years. Well, everything happens for a good reason, but my goodness, never late. It's better never late than never. And he is a great promo, and he cuts a good promo. Good physique on the guy. Wrestling ability, pretty decent wrestling ability. I have to see more of his matches, to be honest with you. I do got to do my research on seeing a couple. I've seen a couple, but not enough. But so far, what I've seen has been pretty decent from LA Knight here. I was about to call him Dupree, Max Dupree. But he did all in all. I cannot wait to see this match here. Right now, LA Knight is carrying this promo with Bray Wyatt. He's making it special, and that's sometimes you need two to tangle. That's why I think we all complain about Braun Breaker's title defense. He didn't have a partner to make that title or the feuds irrelevant. But LA Knight is doing this here with Bray Wyatt's return, and then you're adding another mystery element with Uncle Howdy, which is all in all, they got the right people to make this work, and it's a really good storytelling here. Even though some people, oh, Ryan hasn't fought, but it's a long term story booking that I think at the end of the day, it's going to be really rewarding.
Yeah, and I'm gonna answer that question that you said in the beginning of the segment here. What took so long for LA Knight to be here? We had, Triple H wasn't in charge, and Vince McMahon doesn't look at NXT and say, "Ooh, let's bring up to the main roster." No. So with him coming up and being Max Dupree, it took some time for LA Knight to be formed again once Triple H took back in charge. And I love these two. I love them together. Oof, it's like Italian. It's like New York pizza. So good. And with LA Knight's good promo, and he's so funny, and with Bray Wyatt's like intense, and he's really good in the ring. Hey, I can't wait to see what happens at the Royal Rumble. Possibly an Uncle Howdy. I would say like reveal who it is, or possibly an interference costing Bray the match, and LA Knight wins. We'll just have to
Yeah.
wait and see.
We'll definitely have to wait and see as more time comes here, more developing stories, and then we'll have our prediction of the Rumble program coming up. Well, so we get into the next segment here, where we hear from last Friday, the 30th, before the year ended, 31st. Charlotte Flair comes out, and she wins the SmackDown Women's title from Ronda Rousey after she fights her second match. We're gonna hear from her, from coming up. And let me tell you something. The title on Charlotte Flair looks perfect. She was made to wear gold. I really enjoyed it. Give me your thoughts on this babyface Flair, by the way, promo.
Oh yeah, babyface Flair coming out, and the crowd chanting thank you Charlotte, because finally Ronda Rousey is not champion and she's not on TV. Thank God. Thank you Charlotte. Jesus. But yeah, I agree with you. Charlotte Flair looks good with gold around her waist, and she really wants to be the one to overcome her father's championship, having that many championships. And I can see it happening. I could definitely see Charlotte Flair being the one to take the number one spot from her father. And this, the promo, it was okay. I liked it. But what happens after? Being her first title defense, the person who it is, not
Okay,
what I was
yes.
thinking.
Out comes Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville comes out, says, cuts a promo that you didn't wrestle. You got no excuses now. You got a fresh wrestler here. You won that title. Pretty much saying that it was tainted. You took that title from a tired wrestler. Now you have a fully rested wrestler. Let's go at it. Let's go. One thing I got to say, the crowd in Memphis started a wrong chant. They thought they were in NXT. They must have been thinking about Trick Williams. They whooped that Trick. That is a Trick Williams chant. People, get it right. There's only one person that whoops that Trick, and it's Trick Williams, not Charlotte on Sonya Deville. You got it wrong. Got it wrong. Got the wrong chant. But all in all, they had this match. It was a quick match. We knew it was it was an enhancement match, although Charlotte does not get to enhance, but it's just a title defense where it makes it look, ooh. She gets that. Sonya Deville loses, be a defeated. She gets the figure 8 put on her. My question is, it's time for Sonya Deville to get the Mandy Rose treatment. Go on down to NXT. Go take care of Toxic Attraction. Although they don't really seem like they don't need her, but you could put them together, get her repackaged, let her go up there, let her be dominant in NXT like a Mandy Rose, and 6 to 9 months later, we could have a really, really dope, dominant Sonya Deville, because I think she's really good on the mic, and I think she really is a heel. She plays the female heel to a perfection. But right now, it's hard to get her over with such star power in the women's divisions.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's time for Sonya Deville to come down to NXT and be a part of Toxic Attraction. And them chanting "whoop that trick," I was laughing. I was like, do they watch NXT there? Do people in Memphis actually watch NXT, or they're just, I don't know. They were just chanting the wrong chant. But Sonya Deville saying, yeah, no, you have the chance to fight a fresh wrestler instead of a Thai wrestler. I'm pretty sure if Sonya Deville asked Ronda Rousey after her match against Raquel last Friday, that she would have got whooped, definitely, instead of having a fair chance against Charlotte. And yeah, no, definitely. Sonya put up a fight against Charlotte. She did. It wasn't like a quick roll up 1, 2, 3. Charlotte and Sonya had a very short but decent match. And it looks good for Charlotte having her first defense a week after she won the title before the new year. And let me ask you a question here. Do you see Charlotte Flair successfully defend her title at WrestleMania? Or is this going to be one of those long Charlotte Flair title holding?
It all depends on the merchandising and what's going on. How she continues how the babyface experiment goes. It's easy for her to be heel. And that's what they all say. Is easier to when you're a performer to be a heel, because people always going to be negative. But if she continues to stay with that positive or babyface heat and get over with the fans, I can see this as probably going into London. 6 months, especially now the WWE is looking like they want to make sure that champions are with some longevity, become obstacles. They're not hot potatoes. 1 minute you're the next 6, that just a transition. They want to stay away from the transition title runs. They want to make it where it's a big deal. You beat this person, you really earned the living crap out of it. So whenever Gunther decides to whenever they decide someone's going to beat Gunther, it's going to be a big deal, because he's been holding it now for over almost 200 plus days. As well as the United States title with Bobby Lashley was a big deal when Seth freaking Rollins won. It took Brock Lesnar to come in and do all those shenanigans for him to get that victory. It was a big deal. They want to make every title possible. The next whoever wins the tag team titles is a big deal. And especially now we expect neithertheless, let's not even talk about the undisputed titles. That's been almost going to be almost 3 years without a champion. So they like the longevity. We saw that with the women's NXT title. That was Mandy Rose was over 300 plus days, going close to 400. If it wasn't for her shenanigans outside of the ring, she still probably would have kept being champion, probably past Vengeance, onto Stand and Deliver, those type of deals. So they like the I'm for the longevity with the time champions. I'm okay with it. I'm not like, oh, we need to put the title. No, I'm okay with it there. And with Charlotte, I think I could see a pretty nice run here over close to what Gunther's doing right now, over 200 days as champion plus there, and possibly a change. So we shall see what happens with her. Then one of the biggest matches here on tonight in SmackDown, Royal Rumble qualifier. Now this came with a lot of turmoil. We saw the promos in the back a week before with New Day with the broom. I'm teasing Top Dollar, who we all know did an unfortunate mishap where they flip over the top rope and his moonsault wasn't that crisp. He AEW'd it really nicely, and of course he was viral and all over Twitter and in the IWC world. And of course everyone cracked jokes, and he didn't take assumption to Ricochet. That one caught him, and he pushed him and shoved him, which led to this match here tonight. But before that, he cut a rap promo about how he was going to do, he cut a song, Little Rico, and then he did another promo before the match. And wow, that was really, really one of his highlight of Top Dollar. Ricochet, the winner of the World Cup, comes out, and this match here, the two competitors, you see the size difference, but Ricochet handled himself to the point where Ricochet managed to pick up a victory with the splash. Now, give me your thoughts of the match. But first of all, did you like the promos?
No. But I'm being like, all in all, let's be serious here. It was all right. Okay, I don't want to hate on Top Dollar. You know what happened to him a couple weeks ago. I don't want to be like that. But this match was very, very short. Um, and Ricochet picks up the win here, qualifying to the Royal Rumble. So my thoughts of Top Dollar picking up the win against Ricochet was kind of was wrong, and my fault, because now after the match, what happens after the match? Hit Row turns heel. They attack Ricochet and turn heel. And Top Dollar later in the night after SmackDown tweeted on Twitter, what's happening now? You don't like Top Dollar or Hit Row? Because people in Memphis were booing Hit Row. And this I think this is a good idea on Triple H's part here. Having Hit Row turn heel. What are your thoughts on Hit Row turning heel?
I think they needed to go. They needed to go heel, especially when the crowd is not. You're not getting over with either the music. People are not singing along to their songs because you really hardly can hear it. It sounds like mumble rap. No disrespect, but it sounds a little bit mumble rap. And if they were to give us a catchy chorus, and people would have sang along to it, then you keep them as the face. A la the way the Acclaim flip flopped, and Acclaim was heel, but then they started with the dissing of the rap. They got over, even though he's not nothing to write home about neither on the mic. All he does, yo, listen, yo, listen. He has to say it like 6 times. All right, hurry up and sing. And then all he does is talk about current events to where it's going to rhyme to a pun. That's long hanging fruit, but that's not what we're talking about here. With Hit Row, they need to get the crowd somewhere somehow, and use that kind. Maybe you have to go sometimes. Sometimes the low hanging fruit is the easiest to grab for a reason. So you go and I think Hit Row failed as a face to grab that low hanging fruit. Now, can they still get over as heel to where they could be tweeners and possibly be returned as face again? Absolutely. Who wouldn't not like the singing the positive? Look, we sing the New Day song. So, and that was supposed to be, they started off as heelish. Then they got over. You gotta work at it like every other thing. The same thing with the Brawling Brutes. The Brawling Brutes were like, we all were upset after he dropped, by accident, Holland dropped Biggie on his head. People didn't like the Brawling Brutes. Like, oh, here they go again. Another match again. How many times we're going to see these two? And now we want to see more of the Brawling Brutes. So it's up to now Hit Row. You're a heel now. Win us over as a heel where you're going to be possibly returned back to face, which kind of sounds like an oxymoron. But do they have it in them? Absolutely. And because they have a big guy, maybe they and BFAB, Top Dollar, and the young lady, they all could possibly actually no, as the Adonis is the male. I get those wrong because when you think of Adonis, but never mind. So they could still get over. That's my thing with them. For Ricochet, he's going to get in the Royal Rumble. He's going to go in there. He's going to do a phenomenal job, and we know that he's just going to go. He's getting pushed under the Triple H era. Ricochet has been pushed very well. He has given a great opportunity. We see him; his matches mean so much. Week after week, he is a workhorse in SmackDown and NXT, putting on a great match with Carmelo Hayes and so forth. I am Ricochet very well utilized here in 2022 and now starting 2023. Now let's see if Paul Levesque, Triple H could do that with Hit Row, which I think so because they tweeted out a nice picture of them heading to WrestleMania and they look like they're going to get a push. I think it's going to be trying to get pushed here as a tag team going forward, and so we shall see with them what transpires and what goes forward for Hit Row. I think the push is coming, but not the way we thought, Jay. I think it's going to be via the tag team.
Yeah, definitely. And what you said earlier with Hit Row, needing something. Their song, no one's singing along. Like you said, it sounds like mumble. I agree with you. Something like what the Acclaim is doing. Maybe come out and rap because it worked for many others, as we see. Enzo Amore and Big Cass coming out. That's a good thing to look at. They've done it before in WWE. Maybe Hit Row should do something like that. If Top Dollar's over here creating all these diss tracks on Twitter and posting it all over social media, why not do it in front of the crowd? Why not create something and have the audience react to it in person while you coming out in your entrance? But don't make it a long entrance. I don't want to see no 10-minute entrance. John Moxley. I don't want to see so long of an entrance there. Pick up the pace, walk more faster, talk more faster, do something. We need something. I don't want Hit Row coming out to their crappy song. I don't want to see them just do all these moves and stuff like that. No, come on. We need something to make make Hit Row actually something. And I definitely see them getting a push at WrestleMania with a tag.
He could attack. I don't know if they want to do it, but he could go right back at and throw whatever shade at what's going on in AEW. I mean, I know they don't want to. They want to show, and it's true. WWE doesn't. The AEW does not live rent free in the WWE. Vice versa. Everything WWE does. AEW has to talk about it and make some type of a gesture or say something about it, but WWE doesn't. But just make something. Something. What's going on. Make a light or get something where the crowd you get, even if if for Top Dollar, he's got to learn that no matter when he does perform live, he's going to be overcome by the audience, and maybe he's not prepared for that, and that's why WWE's protecting him. But I think he's got it in him. He's got to try it once. If it flops, it flops. But he's got to try it once, at least to try to rap live or something where the crowd could, eventually, it's going to be like, ugh, ugh, and then it's going to turn like the way Dave Furr came. I think they have it in them personally, and I think it'll work and get a different audience to that as well and getting pushed. And I think that's the reason why Hit Row is here, and I think they're going to really transpire in the next few. They don't need to have no other member from whatsoever, because no one in NXT sings. No one has that gimmick of a singer or possibly want to be an inspiring rapper that we know of. No one that we've seen down in NXT, and they don't need that member. I think they're, I know they're missing Swerve Strickland. That's why I said they don't need that fourth member. I think they could be okay doing it and going forward. I think Top Dollar would be that, and we'll see with them going forward. But we did see a video package setting up for next week, Intercontinental title between Braun Strowman and Gunther. But before that promo, after he was getting bombarded and beat by Hit Row, Ricochet Braun Strowman does come out for the save now. You see a happy alliance between now the Flippy Flopper and the Monsters of All Men, back to that comment that he said a couple months ago. But it kind of teasing us that Braun Strowman is going to be his protector, or they're not going to be a tag team, but they're going to be like in a group, the same way a la the New Day, with Big E watching over Xavier and Kofi and vice versa. I kind of like that he's got a little help there, Jay.
Yeah, definitely. And when he said what he said online, now we've seen that he lost to Ricochet, and now is tagging with him. And I see what's going to happen here in next week with Gunther versus Braun Strowman. Gunther destroys Braun Strowman here, and that's kind of like his punishment for saying what he said online. And I like Ricochet and Braun Strowman here together. I like them. I don't see them as tag champs. I don't see them tagging ever. Maybe here and there, random tag matches, as long as they don't face the New Day. Face the Usos. I'm fine with it. Hey, let's let Triple H do what he's doing, and we can see, maybe we see in the future what his vision is going to be there.
Yeah, I don't see any disagreement with that. As long as they don't go for the title run for the tag team title, maybe down the line, if they really stick as a team, and they really like, their matches are so much overwhelming great together that will, they might change their mind. But as of now, single competitors that watch each other's back, I really am for it. I really could go for that. I am okay with that there. So when we come back, we see the backstage here where you see the Tribal Chief talking to Paul Heyman, asks for Paul to call Sammy. He calls him, what does he call him? Shwami? Call Shwami?
Some I don't know. I had to
I
listen to it again.
rewinded
I was
and
like, what?
I
What?
couldn't really pay it. I couldn't
Yeah, no,
get what
me
he said.
neither.
So,
That's yeah.
which is funny because when they come back from that, the second part is he comes in, Roman sits down with Sammy. Sammy wants to apologize. Roman stops him there. And actually, Roman Reigns is the one that's apologizing to Sami Zayn for getting short temper, and speaking out of terms there, a little bit out of character there for Jay. I'm like, for the tribal chief, and then Jay, I'm like looking at this. There's something up here. It doesn't smell well, but all in all, looks like he smoothed things out for now.
Yeah, and this goes what I said earlier. It kind of smells fishy. Roman Reigns apologizing to Sammy for acting up outside, in the ring during beginning of SmackDown. And this again is going to kind of lead to possibly a Sami Zayn turn. Um, Now, with moving forward, what Triple H is doing, it kind of makes sense that Sammy's going to be either being turned on or turned on the Bloodline. I don't really see now. I don't really see Solo Sikoa maybe at WrestleMania, um, before the Rock versus Roman match, if that is a possibility. And I'll speak on that before we go to our next thing here. Um, during, if you kind of look at the poster for the Royal Rumble, um, and what WWE put out on Twitter, WWE put out something about electrifying, and kind of put a love emoji and a lightning ball emoji. Maybe is this leading to The Rock actually going to the Royal Rumble and possibly being the 30th man and winning the whole thing? Hey,
It's a good speculation because, of course, he played Black Lightning. I've
Black
seen
Adam.
Black Adam. Excuse me, Black Adam with the lightning in his chest. That's what I meant. And going forward with that, but uh,
I don't want The Rock to win, but
I don't think
hey,
he's gonna participate. I think he'll come in to, I don't know, he cut a promo, or he possibly interfere in that match. But if he does, or in the match between Owens and Sammy, Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns, possibly. Who knows? There, yeah, you might know with Rumble. It'll be interesting there. He's in great shape, so you never know. But even though we saw Cena, who was in great shape, reports are that they protected him throughout the whole match. So it's easier to be in shape physically wise, but cardio and in ring is different. I've heard that from Bully Ray on Busted Open. I've heard that a lot from Busted Open radio program as well, with from Tommy Dreamer as well and Mark Henry. So they're in the ring, they're competitors, and they weren't physically strength. They weren't any body Adonises or bodybuilders, and they say it's a difference, when you have all the muscles compared to in ring cardio. So I'm gonna take their words of it because they've been wrestling and they still do wrestle night in, night out, still in the indies, and I'll take their word for it over the way John Cena. The words come out that he was protected as well, and maybe The Rock, like you said, maybe I guess you probably could be a 30th member, 30th come a 30th comes out and wins. Yeah, you probably I can see that in that world too, but.
yeah.
It'll be interesting to see. We'll be glued to it. We'll be glued, ready to watch it, ready to go with it. To watch it.
Before we move on to the match, the main event here. Earlier we forgot to say that Liv Morgan came on our screens and kind of cut a promo saying that she'd be entering the Royal Rumble, not just in any number. She wants to enter the Royal Rumble at number 1 spot, and she wants to defeat 29 other women to possibly get a chance to main event WrestleMania for the Raw or SmackDown title.
Liv is a draw. Liv Morgan is a draw. Everybody wants to see possibly before WrestleMania filler, a program between Liv and Charlotte Flair. We all know Liv. I don't see Liv returning as a champion yet, but you never know. So we never know where or how that may happen. But for now, I can see a Charlotte Flair Liv Morgan program going forward. And why it won't hurt to see that she gets an opportunity to try to recapture the title, and it's not going to be bad. Like I said, Charlotte Flair could carry in the promos Liv, Rousey, and then also even the match. So she's that season of a veteran, that good of an in-ring performer that could happen. So it'll be interesting there with that there. So we'll get to the main event finally here. Before that, we saw them early in a bar in Jerry the King Lawler's bar, by the way. They were drinking some beers, getting revved up, getting ready to the Scottish and the Irishman getting together, ready to go. It was fun to see them come out there against the Usos, the Celtic Warrior, and Solo Sikoa accompany them to the ring. But before that happens, when the Bloodline music hits, Sami Zayn was about to run out of the Bloodline's locker room where the tribal chief says, no, stay here. I want you to stay here. Let's watch this together. Sit back, relax, sit on the recliner. Now, so I'm surprised that Roman Reigns did not want that extra hand out there. Do you see? Do you have an idea why?
Maybe to observe Sammy to see what his reaction is to what the Usos are doing out of the ring, whether they're on top of the match or on the bottom of the match, and having now called the Banger Bros, which is a weird name to be called. Hey, listen, that's their thing they're going. But the Usos versus now the Banger Bros. What's your thoughts on the match there?
I'm hoping they get a bus. um, I, so I see that this match is about to start. These guys bring it. Sheamus at 43 is at top of his game here. No sign of decline whatsoever from Sheamus. My goodness, he just looks phenomenal. He's in phenomenal shape. He works out like a maniac. Um, Ali, I like the work. I like actually Drew teaming up with him. I actually do. I'm not a big Drew McIntyre fan. Not my cup of coffee as a wrestler. Actually, I mentioned it many times on my podcast. When he became the champion during the Thunderdome era, I stopped watching wrestling. I just didn't like him that much. I completely stopped watching period wrestling. It's just he just didn't call my attention. Not my cup of coffee. Nothing wrong with it. It just doesn't please me. But actually, I like him here in the tag team here with Sheamus. I think he's growing on me. With Sheamus here in the Party of the Brawling Brutes, we see that the match back and forth, Jimmy and Jay, they just keep getting better and better. When you're thinking like what more we're going to see from Jimmy and Jay Uso, they just keep elevating as a tag team, and you could even see individuality stardom, and if they were to go their own ways, which I don't see why not. Why won't you? You keep them together. They are the best. They're Hall of Fame already established careers for both of them. And with Lander to say the back and forth there, and I love the fact when we go to the cuts backstage now, somebody was taking care of. There was some catering, there was some popcorn. Sammy had a box. Even Paul Heyman was eating popcorn. The tribal chief relaxing, eating popcorns. I thought he would be more of a grapes and cheese type of guy, but he was having popcorn.
Yeah, and Sami Zayn offering before the tribal chief and Paul Heyman had offering popcorn. And then we see more and more. This gets funny and funnier. Sami Zayn throwing popcorn at the TV when the Usos are not in control. And this match was pretty good as a main event. This was actually a good main event, and I like to see the result here. The Usos pick up a win, and we see in the back, Sammy goes wild and starts throwing the popcorn everywhere and is going crazy. And Roman Reigns is over there kind of like smirking, having a little laugh there. And all in all, I think, Sammy and the Bloodline it's not going to go all the way to WrestleMania. I don't see it. But yeah, hey, this match, the SmackDown was actually it was pretty good. I wouldn't say it was great. I wouldn't say it was amazing. But it was kind of a downgrade from what we saw on Raw during the beginning of the first show of the year. This was not really that good of a SmackDown, first SmackDown of 2023. But hopefully Triple H picks up something here from people online saying that this is also not a good show, and starts booking better shows. So yeah.
Well, Sami Zayn got excited when they found out that the Bang Bros were gonna get a bus, so he got excited. He actually busted his popcorn all over the place. With that, first and foremost, there for Sami Zayn. So someone's got to clean that mess. So. And
You with the
secondly,
bus.
I mean, don't we catch a bus every Tuesday? Maybe that's the
Oh
Bang
yeah.
Bros. Bro. I think I'm gonna wear a T-shirt. I'm gonna make a T-shirt, Bang Bro Bus, with Sheamus and
I heard that they should get a T-shirt that says Banger Bros on it.
yeah. And then when we get on the bus, there you go. And we come to full circle. But nevertheless, here, I kind of enjoy this there, but what with the SmackDown people say, oh, they didn't like it, didn't listen, you can't have a premium that final SmackDown of the year was like a premium live event. Also the crowd will make sometimes these SmackDown shows. If you're telling me the crowd would have been even and they were good, don't get me wrong, they were much greater than Nashville. Nashville was a snooze fest. They made that show boring with their unenthusiastic. But if the crowd gets more ruckus and more chanting and just continue, they did it with the whoop that trick. That was fine, even though they were the wrong show. Maybe they should have started with the fight. From the Brawling Brutes. Something different. Maybe that show might have been different, but I thought it was fine. It's a 2-hour show. Went pretty fast. Be honest with you, I didn't think it dragged. I thought it was extremely quick. I was like, damn, already done. But that means it was a good show. It was entertaining. If you find the show was too short, it was entertaining. If you find it too long, it might have been a little bit long in the tooth. But it was just fine. But one thing I wanted to mention after the show went off the air, we have the Viking Raiders, Ibar and Eric came out and they walloped the Sheamus and Drew in the ring, left them hurtly really bad, and it seems like now it's going to be now the Viking Raiders going after Sheamus and Drew, or even possibly the Harlan and Butch. So I kind of like it, giving you something different, and without squashing, without and starting new feuds, a new storyline, and then not and keeping away from always the redundant and repeat matches that people were complaining about that we see in the other promotion, but we're not seeing this here though. So you got to give them kudos. They're trying to give you fresh blood, fresh interjection of storylines, and they did it. Even though we didn't see it on the air, but those that were in the arena and on digitally exclusive, you got to see that action.
Question: was there a dark match or no?
I don't think there was a dark match.
This is the second week in a row. I think they're done with dark matches, and I think they're gonna do maybe 1 or 2 matches before the show, and then just end it there because, I love the dark matches. Hey, the first time I went to SmackDown before they had a dark match and it was pretty good. I like it, but unfortunate that they're not doing dark matches and it's more of attack. This is the second week in a row that there were attacks. Last week, John Cena and Kevin Owens got attacked from the Bloodline after the match, and now this week the Viking Raiders attack the Banger Brothers. This is just, I guess now this is going to be a reoccurrence. Possibly we'll see every week a new person gets attacked. So yeah.
Yeah, they made him miss the bus. So we'll go on now to the next stuff. I got some breaking news here. The WWE have shown interest, and they've been showing interest on several wrestlers, and if they're still showing interest, that means nothing's changed even with the board. They'll want to still bring in fresh talent. Of course, we know that Triple H wants to bring in some more independent wrestlers into the organization, either NXT or to the main roster. We also saw that we all know about the Dragon Lee signing, possibly making his debut this Tuesday, but per Fightful Select. So I want to give them their credit where credit's due. WWE have shown expressed interest in Tama Tonga. That is the IWGP Openweight champion who had that match with Carl Anderson at Wrestle Kingdom. Tonga looks to fit the bid. He looks what WWE likes, and not for nothing, he had a hell of a match with Anderson. I know WWE had a lot of eyes watching because that's their talent there in Anderson, and they have a lot of interest in Tama Tonga, as well as Jay Wright, as well as Hikuleo was another one that they were very high on. And of course, Hikuleo, son of Haku, and could be, Haku many years wrestled in WWE, Hall of Famer, I believe, with the WWE, and Possibly, we know how they take care of the second generation of some of these performers that wrestled through the WWE and getting them the lucrative contracts and giving them the push from Cody all the way to Randy Orton. You know the names. There's a lot of second generation, third generation wrestlers, and that they've been treated. They've been getting that push and top of the company. I wouldn't mind seeing a Hikaleo coming in here and Tomatanga, who's part of the Samoan type of tribe family. I'm not too sure who is exactly relative of, but I know that he could also get pushed here and brought into the WWE. I'm like, yes, please.
Yes, definitely. Yes, please is the right term to use in this situation. And with all three of these New Japan Pro Wrestling stars, possibly we see a forbidden door. And a lot of people are saying that in the Royal Rumble is going to have a forbidden door entry. Could this be Jay White? Could this be Hikuleo? Can this be Tamatanga? We'll just have to wait and see for the Royal Rumble. And that match at Wrestle Kingdom with Tamatanga and Machine Gun Carl Anderson here. This for the Neverweight Open Championship. This is another opportunity to bring another Neverweight Open champion back to the company, back to WWE, because we had Carl Anderson. It looks like New Japan Pro Wrestling and WWE are on good terms, just like New Japan Pro Wrestling and AEW were on good terms for their Forbidden Door pay-per-view. If let's just say there is a Forbidden Door pay-per-view, what are your thoughts and what matches, if this ever happens, what matches would you like to see?
Oh, of course. Everyone's gonna say immediately. I don't know if it will work completely, Jay. With the Forbidden Door, New Japan, WWE, especially with their unless of the NWGP North USA champion Kenny Omega is no longer with AEW, I could see that work because that'll be a conflict of interest with Omega holding the New Japan United States champion going up against if they do a WWE Forbidden Door. I don't know if the con man allows that. I think that's also I can see that work. Of course, the number one match will be Will Ospreay taking on Roman Reigns will be a one, or even Seth Rollins. That's another one that works well. Okada taking on possibly we've seen it with Brock Lesnar, maybe a Cody Rhodes again, or if he returns, I'm trying to think of other wrestlers that are currently right now in the main events, or Sheamus, taking on, so many different wrestling possibilities there in tag teams as well. It all depends here. Can it be done? Absolutely. Nothing is forbidden no more, and we all seen that. No pun intended. I know everyone says that New Japan and AEW has a great working relationship. They could see that doing it annually, doing it again. Not what I heard with a lot of the wrestlers there. I know Will Ospreay did not like his time in AEW. He did not like his time. Aussie Open did not like his time in AEW. The way it's booked, the way it's run, the way that all that. Remember, they were there when all the different dissensions and the start of the locker room division, and a lot of the New Japan wrestlers that were in New Japan really didn't feel so comfortable in the way AEW was being ran. And then they talked about maybe this is what it allowed New Japan Wrestling to pivot and now work with Paul Levesque no longer, because Vince was very rigid. He was very rigid, who didn't really want no one really to go over there while wrestling. And he said no. First of all, he said no twice to Nakamura to fight in Pro Wrestling Noah against the Great Muta. But Paul Levesque, Triple H said yes, allowed him to. That's something different. Maybe that's what opened the doors for New Japan to want to work with WWE, because that allowing such a big star in Japan like Nakamura to go over to Noah and say wrestle, despite what Vince said no, and not just being a puppet or keeping the old man happy, trying to change the narrative, open up the minds of New Japan and say, you know what, maybe we could work with this new regime in the WWE, and maybe this is what they're more. Be honest with you, they're more global. What would you want to do? Your New Japan, and you could see that right now. New Japan Wrestling sales just skyrocket with Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks, now part of New Japan Wrestling. They're really popular. They got popular. They're the highest grossing views for New Japan pay-per-view for Wrestle Kingdom. And it wasn't because just of Kenny Omega. I'm sorry. It was because of Sasha Banks. Omega's been in Japan before, and he didn't move the needle. Yes, the match was phenomenal with Will Ospreay. That was a hell of a match. But I think it was more because of Sasha Banks. I'm going to tell you the truth. If Sasha Banks was not joining in New Japan Wrestling, I would have not got up to watch Kenny Omega and I wouldn't not watch Wrestle Kingdom. I watched it to see how she was going to say, if she was going to drop any nuggets. Plus, there were some good matches there. The matches were a plus. The main reason was to see what Sasha was going to say or do, wrestle, or if she was going to drop any hints going, But and then and then the matches were gravy. They were having your cake and eating it too when it came to Wrestle Kingdom, in my opinion. So with the Forbidden Door thing here, I think New Japan is more beneficial if they work with the WWE, especially them going everywhere. Can it? Do you think Do you think New Japan Wrestling would like to get some of that Saudi Arabia money to go and do a show there with the WWE and have the
Of
Forbidden Door
course.
there? Of course. Jay, money talks, nonsense walks.
Oh yeah, and Will Ospreay, during the Wrestle Kingdom post conference, said that it's been 3 years since Kenny Omega was in New Japan, and him coming back and just defeating Will Ospreay here, it put a big toll on Will Ospreay, and it says if it doesn't take it, I think it says his contract is up in 2025 or 2024. If it's not fixed by then, he dropped a big hint there. He's going to go to another wrestling company, possibly with a lot of people talking about it. Possibly WWE, possibly I don't think like you said earlier, AEW doesn't like AEW. So really, the only option here, because Impact doesn't have enough money to buy Will Ospreay here, possibly a WWE debut for Will Ospreay. And since we're on the topic of New Japan Pro Wrestling, who was it? It was Jay White. Jay White kind of had a challenge there for, I think it was Hikuleo, right?
Yeah, Hikaleo, loser
The
leaves Japan
Hikuleo.
match.
It was yeah. Whoever loses leaves Japan, and I definitely see since all the reports are going out there says Hikuleo is WWE is interested in him. I can see Jay White pick up the win and Hikuleo going to WWE.
It pretty much total there. The whoever loses his match is the one that's being signed here by the WWE, because although I think Dave Meltzer reported that Jay White still has 2 years on his New Japan contract. They believe he has 2 years left at that deal, but he was just not so long ago back in the States in the San Antonio Spurs game. He does live in San Antonio, by the way. He lives here in the States, so maybe some of these guys want to come back home, and I'm pretty sure Japan is beautiful, fun to live in, the culture, the food, but it is a super long flight for them to be coming back and forth to New Japan or to Japan. I know they do state shows here, New Japan Strong in the United States, but a lot of their shows are mostly over there. So I don't know if that's a rigged back and forth. We all know we saw Mercedes Bernardo back in home, coming back from New Japan. She flew across. She's back in Boston, not LA, not Portland, not Washington. She's back in good old Massachusetts area, back where she's home, and wonder if when she returns back to start training for that match on the 18th at the Valley. So it'll be interesting to see going forward here with all the different professional wrestlers, and New Japan would help us watch New Japan and having Carl Anderson wrestle there, and as well as Shinsuke Nakamura. It opened the eyes and the door for WWE want to work with some of these folks that are in New Japan, So I kind of would like them to bring another young, inspiring Japanese wrestler to WWE. I know one thing I do want to say about AEW, they got Tanoki Takeda, that he's going to wrestle next week against Moxley. I believe Moxley. He had a couple matches against
Bryan
Moxley in the
Danielson.
summer. Bryan Danielson, he's good. I
Because
like him.
Moxley's having a match against Adam Page.
Okay, against Bryan Danielson, I like him too. He's a really good wrestler. I mean, I when he came on the scene, I was like, whoa, he really, they gave him a title match and he looked really well. He didn't win, but he got over without going over, and I was like, okay, this guy, and then he returned to Japan, and he returned back to the States, and he moved now here to be part of AEW. That's the type of wrestler, and I think that's what Triple H wants to do when he wants to globalize WWE. Going forward with the NXT Europe, eventually NXT India, and I'm pretty sure he wants to continue to expand because he wants to find the good talents not around the world where they don't have to fight or wrestle and show their talents in these small countries, but eventually establish those markets, then come to the WWE globally and continue to expand, growing the wrestling industry.
Yeah, definitely, and possibly see an NXT Japan. Possibly, you never know. All these
Yeah,
things coming from Triple H. This is a great, great, great thing. Great time to be in pro wrestling. I say it every time. 2023 is going to be a good time, good year for us pro wrestling and for us wrestling fans. So yeah,
indeed, indeed. So that is our SmackDown review. We have a few minutes if you want to talk a little bit of Rampage. If not, we could leave it as well. Rampage had their matches there. They had Top Flight versus Black. I'm gonna read the list and we'll pick on which matches we would like to review. We had Top Flight versus Blackpool Combat Club, which is just Moxley and Danielson. You also had Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter taking on the Renegade Twins. Also you had Preston Vance taking on Sonico. It's just a squash match and a handset match that they had. And of course, Darby Allin taking on Mike Bennett for the TNT title. Any of those matches caught your eyes there? Jay, I'll let you go first.
yeah, the Blackpool Combat Club versus Top Flight, Darius and Dante. That match went hard. The beginning of Rampage started off with John Moxley having his entrance with Bryan Danielson already in the ring, so kind of missed Bryan Danielson's intro theme and all that stuff. But John Moxley comes back to the ring, or comes to the ring, and we see Dante and Darius jumped over the top rope and crashed on top of John Moxley, starting off the match with Darius and John Moxley in the ring. This match slapped. I liked this match. This match was really good. It was a great way to kick off the first Rampage of 2023. Hey, did you watch that match at all, Kev?
I did watch that match. It was a good match. It was a very entertaining match. This could have been a premium live event match, absolutely. Here's the deal though. They showed so much in this match. They got to do a little more selling with these people's moves. Top Flight hitting you with everything but the kitchen sink and getting kicked out, not even a 2.9, I have a problem with that because they're supposed to show us that they're getting better, yes, but when they finish, when you do certain moves like a finisher for other wrestlers, you're supposed to protect some of these finishes. I think they do too much wow factors with the moves, and meanwhile they forget that people that are watching it, oh my god, you're really kicking out on that, and I can see, I've seen it, and what's my problem with AEW? You see spike pile drivers and you're like, wait a minute, you're not supposed to kick out on a spike power driver. You're really like screwed. You got a guy pushing you on power driving you with another guy assisting you, and you're kicking out at two. That's the only issue I had with it. I love the crowd. They were really, my God, they were eating out of their palms and hands. But I think if you put, like I always said it, even if you put a turd flushing around in the toilet in the middle of AEW, they're gonna cheer because of the alcohol and all the stupidity. Because if as long as it says AEW, they'll love it. But and it's not to sound negative, but it probably is. It's just they just did too much. You're doing too much. Sometimes keep it simple, stupid. And I'm not saying it'd be a boring match, but this was really good. But it was too much for. We know who was going to eventually come up on top here with the result, and then the finisher looks stupid. He gets hit with an elbow and he gets taps out. I mean, the submission move. I was like,
Yeah, that's
wah,
the
wah.
same.
It
That's
was
the same
wah, wah,
finish.
wah.
It was the same finish of Bryan Danielson and Tony Nese. That was the same exact finish of the match, and I would say that's the best match of the night.
It
Because
was.
yeah, definitely 100%. Because these matches, the names, Mike Bennett and Darby Allin, that was not really an entertaining match to watch. And we had that squash match with Venice and what was that guy's name?
It was cynical. But be honest with you, my favorite match, actually, the match that I want to highlight is actually the ladies' match. Baker and Jamie Hayter. They're of course we all know who's going to come up on top. Again, this is another match, another one similar to Top Flight. We know what the outcome is going to be, and I want first thing and foremost, the Renegade Twins, they should be signed and they should be pushed. You have here you have two natural tag teams, a natural tag team with these two ladies. They go at it. I've seen several of their matches, and whenever they get elevated onto Rampage, even though they come out as enhancement talent, they get there, they get squashed. We all know they're not going to win. They even though they are Renegade Twins, they're going to get lose again. But they do a great job in the ring performers. They don't botch. You got ladies who are in the main roster of AEW that you see night in, night out, in the Car Heel matches, a Red Velvet, not to pick on her, and the other baddies sometimes, and they botched a crazy amount of moves. Ruby Soho, Ty Conti, the names, the list there's the heavy hitters of names. You could tell they don't put no work in their craft afterwards, and the Renegade Sisters, the twins, they wrestle well and they do it well as a tag team. Why don't they get a push? Why don't they get an opportunity to be on the main roster? I don't know. Maybe they're not good backstage, or maybe they just like the contract that they're at per appearance. I don't know what it is, but they are really good performers. I don't see why AEW doesn't use them and get them over. They could pretty much say they're homegrown like their claim, but this is the problem with AEW. They're not shining stars. They weren't known in NXT. They weren't known. They don't have a WWE W2 form. So basically, they're just going to be paper performers. Personally, I would jump on them if I was them, if they would have an opportunity. I don't know if they would like to come to NXT. I would try to get them to an NXT contract, get them seasoned, see what kind of microphone skills they have. Maybe they suck in promos, Jay. I never heard these ladies talk, so maybe they're terrible when it comes to promos, and that's why they're there to be kind of like an enhancement talent until maybe they get it as to cut promos. But personally, if I'm them, I'll try to find something for them here in NXT or WWE, because I think, especially when they need tag teams, and to me, that's all I got out of this match here. I knew that Jamie Hayter and Babe Breaker were not, it was light work and they made it, but not really, because the ladies really put up a fight with them. Again, another match here where they just getting out of their skin and the teeth, where you could have seen it kind of felt 50-50 booking.
Yeah, 100%. In this match, yeah, I agree. It was pretty good. It was obvious who was going to win the match. Brick Breaker and Jamie Hayter, coming out with the win here against the Renegade Twins. And I agree with you. They should come down to NXT. Hey, they're not contracted to AEW. They don't have an AEW contract. Hey, come down to NXT. This is a perfect opportunity to have another tag team in the women's division. And we haven't heard them promos. We haven't heard them talk before. Yeah, maybe they suck in promos, but that's what the Performance Center is for. It's all about enhancement. It's all about helping these young talented wrestlers be good at something before they go up to the main roster. And I don't want to name a few people, but there are some people in NXT and on the main roster who need promo skills. There's a lot of people on the main roster. I don't want to, like I said before, I don't want to name the people because I don't want to start drama on the internet. But there are some people that are not good at promos that need to come down to the Performance Center for a little promo classes. There and the Renegade Twins, they're a perfect fit for NXT, perfect fit for WWE. They did good in the ring. They did good against Jamie Hayter and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. And that that entrance from Dr. Britt Baker, I liked it. How it was presented. It was good, and it kind of looked that Britt Baker was kind of taking the spotlight away from Jamie Hayter again during Jamie Hayter's entrance. It kind of looked like she was like standing in front. She was like, "Oh, yep, nope, I gotta get the spotlight again." Possibly having Britt Baker versus Jamie Hayter match in the future. What are your thoughts on possibly having that match?
Yeah, that's leading there. You could tell that they're pivoting. They're tipping that. They're showing you. They're giving you the breadcrumbs and the teases. They're interrupting of course who gets the pin, who doesn't, and all, and who gets the push, the and it's just going to get to a point where there's going to be a boiling point. You could tell that's happening. That's just right now long-term booking, long-term storyline build up for those two ladies. After whoever uh Jamie Hayter defends her title against upcoming, and then it's going to possibly be possibly looking out for All Out or Double or Nothing for that to happen in the late spring. You could see that. You could see that's on the wall there after this. After Revolution, that's going to probably be what's going to happen there. But that was Rampage there. Of course, we had Darby Allin versus Mike Bennett on a match that was like, you know, it wasn't nothing to write home about. Darby Allin wins victorious with an avalanche cold red followed by a coffin drop. It was like, okay, Maria Kanellis looks so lost, like she's just there, like, dude, she's like, I'm just here for the money. It looked at like, ugh, it was just like, we just gotta get this doofus over with the title because he's in front of his father and his brother and his fans and his people, and just what it felt. I'm sorry, that's what it felt like. It was like it just wasn't, and it wasn't in captivating. But the crowd still ate up though. See, this is the thing that I gotta give. We gotta give AEW fans, and we gotta tip our hat is even if we know it was like, but they still were going bananas. They were involved. They wanted. I don't know what's the ramp up ahead of the time, but I believe that they're telling them you are part of the show, and we need you to be part of the wrestling show. And they are. The AEW is nothing without their fan base. Seriously, that fan base and that people that go to those arenas, they are part of the show from every bit. I mean, and sometimes they look like the same people goes to the same freaking towns because my goodness, they all look like, and I don't disrespect AEW neckbeards, all pretty much. And Jesus Christ, they all look exactly identical in every town they go to. And maybe they say that about us in NXT, but it is what it is. But my goodness, they bring it. I got to give them their crowd, their props. They bring it, Jay, night in night out, no matter what. They're cheering. They're going at it, and it looks good on TV. It does. It really does. I'm gonna sound like Tony Schiavone. It really does. It really does look good. It's good, guys. It's really good, guys. I mean,
Yeah, definitely. And
then they had the Battle of the Belts following it. Now, I'll give you Battle of the Belts, another Battle of the Belts that no title gets changed. So please, change the name of it. Change the name of this because this is just say Dynamite. It's going to go a special Rampage is going to special 2-hour show because the idea Acclaim with Jeff Jarrett taking on Jay Lethal, and again, why? Again, we saw why because of the controversial stuff, but really, of course, nothing says Acclaim without coming out and making a couple of wisecracks. Of course, long hanging fruit. What we mentioned with Top Dollar about McMahon. Jarrett is more worse than Vince McMahon. Of course, again another
WWE kind of like throwing shade at WWE.
Another throw of that, but then another chaotic ending with the officials. It's like lazy booking.
I don't know, man. Just all I want to say, if Tony Khan, I know Tony Khan is never gonna watch the podcast, but if he ever shows his face in the podcast, hey, enough with the freaking Jeff Jarrett booking. Enough, man. I don't want to see Jeff Jarrett get the title shot. I know he's not gonna win the title, so what's the point? Just for Jeff Jarrett to have some TV time. Like I've said it before, I said it last time on the Dynamite recap, the review. Listen, get Jeff Jarrett off my screen. I don't want to see this Battle of the Belts. It was just not a good one. I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy it.
Yo, listen. The claim is getting played. Yo, listen. I mean,
yeah.
I like the Acclaim. They really got over.
No,
with
I
that
love the Acclaim.
daddy.
I love
They're
it.
really good. They're getting good over there. The chaos with the referees, but I gotta give credit though. As much as we're complaining about Jeff Jarrett, he's not been in ring performance. He still got it. He hasn't been bad. I got to give that credit. As much as we're saying, oh, I was seeing it. Jarrett was not there looking geriatric, old. He was moving. He was going. He still sells the moves when he gets knocked on his rear end. getting beat. He's not the problem. Is that we know that there is no future in a Jeff Jarrett going forward to invest all this resource and time and effort where you could have on the push with him. That's what I think bothers us because he just got to the company and you're pushing him this hard. That's what bothers us. Because we know that you're taking away from someone who's been there long enough, who's ready to get that push. He took put it this way, he's taking that spotlight away from a warlord, and he's got buried. Where's Scorpio Sky at?
I have no clue. Listen.
Witness protection. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Those are the kind of guys that should be getting kind of those pushes that he's taking away from. But it's not his fault. Or maybe it is, maybe it isn't. If it is his fault, you can't blame him. He's trying. You know what? And if we take advantage, if we get it, if you give it an inch and he takes a yard, you can't blame him. You don't hate the player, hate the game. And he's playing the game correctly. No pun intended to Triple H. But I can't hurt him. I can't be mad at him, but it comes from up above. But no, we got to get the younger talent. We need to get that push right now. We need you. What you came here for was, director of live events, and it looks like he's known director of live events to me. He looks like he's part of the live events.
Yeah, and this speaking about the crowd too, from earlier what you said, I don't want I want to throw shade, but at the same time I don't kind of want to throw shade. But with the drinking beer, you see everybody, all some of the WWE fans, I mean not AEW fans, sorry, have a beer in their hand.
They
JD
all
from
do.
New York, you always hear talking about NXT. People are drunk in NXT. What
They
about the
give us
AEW
water.
fans?
They don't. But
Well, yeah,
there is no what about. We get water.
we get just water. It's just water. If you come to the performance center, we'll show you. It's just water. They don't sell us alcohol or food. Do you ever see anybody in the performance center eating? No,
No. Oh,
because
and
all they do
when
is
they
give
did
us
that
food.
popcorn, spot, it's a planted person there. It wasn't. It
Yes.
wasn't. And I'm sorry, NXT, if we ruined or peek behind the curtain. But we're trying to make a point here. We don't get not even food. Sometimes we're there. Sometimes for 3 show tapings with nothing but room temperature water. That's
Hmm.
it.
Yeah.
That's it
So
because they don't allow to sell us anything, not even a food cart outside. So we come out there starving.
yeah. So JD, enough with the NXT fans are drunk. I mean, you wear an AEW sweater, a jacket, and AEW fans. What do they do when they're at AEW shows? Drink alcohol. So
That's it.
just
They're
enough,
drinking.
enough.
Yeah. They're having a good time, which there's
Oh
nothing
yeah,
wrong with it.
no.
That's their
Hey,
money.
I don't want.
That's
I'm
their
not
money.
saying that
Go have a
AEW
good
fans are
time.
bad. Yeah, I'm not saying AEW fans are. They're relentless with their drinking. No, 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 no. They're having a fun time, and I like it. I enjoy it. And
It looks good
Nashville,
on TV.
take notes. Yeah, Nashville,
Yeah, it
take
looks good
notes.
on
Be
TV.
active.
Yes, indeed, indeed, and of course the battles of the belts. I'll give you another couple matches. I'm not gonna break every one of them down because it really the one that Jeff lived through. You had Jay Cargill taking on Sky Blue. Of course,
Oh,
Jay Cargill continues to impress. 48-0. Maybe by the time she reaches 50 is where it's gonna be her first real tough opponent. I don't know. Against she stands. Layla Gray stands by her side. Of course, we have that interruption with the
Red
other
Velvet.
kid with Velvet, who whatever storyline they want to build there for the future. But she gets the victory. Although you could say that Sky Blue and internet is going bananas because she's gotten a little impressed because she did a couple roll ups. Well, she's heck yeah, she's been training with Madison Rain. If she doesn't pick up a couple things in to improve, then there's something wrong with Sky Blue. She wants to continue to keep jobbing and not get impressive. She's got to put in the work. It's bad enough you're taking Cora Jade's gimmick. Just make it better.
See, I don't know. See, I had this discussion with the Jester last night on Discord. I can see why everybody's calling Sky Blue a ripoff of Cora Jade, but at the same time, I don't. Just because she's wearing a hat, anybody could wear a hat. Any female can wear a hat and kind of have similar looking
Features.
clothing as similar features and clothing as Cora Jade. And no offense, I love Cora Jade. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of Cora Jade, and you'll see me, Kev, once she has that title opportunity against Roxanne. If she wins the title, listen, I'm gonna go nuts, but I don't know why people keep comparing them to. They don't. Sky Blue come down with a skateboard? Does she
No,
run around the ring? No.
no,
So
you're right
so I
with
don't know
that
why
one.
everybody's comparing them. I don't know, but
Well, in the final match of the night, and I'll be honest with you, I saw it and I don't recall pieces of it. I know Orange Cassidy versus Kip Sabian. We need Orange Cassidy wins with the orange punch. The only thing fascinating about Kip Sabian when he wears that paper hat on his head, and pretty much that's it.
yeah, no. After the not Cora Jade, after the Jade Cargo match, I kind of was like, you know what, this kind of got me a little bit like, I don't want to watch the rest of it. But I did hear about the match, and it was all right. But obviously we know who's gonna win. OC wins again. Orange Cassidy picks up the win and successfully defends his AEW All Atlantic Championship. Hey Kev, who do you think is going to take that championship away from Orange Cassidy?
That's a good one because right now, being honest with you, I do like Orange Cassidy. I
I
think
love
his
him.
gimmick. I love that gimmick. I love the little bit of the comedy with him. With just the nonchalant. Whoa, whoa! I really enjoy it. I really enjoy all of it. The way he wrestles with his hands in the pockets. I mean, not for nothing, that's some skill. Um, to see who's gonna right now take that title from him, it's gonna happen soon. I don't think he's gonna. I don't think they're gonna keep him with that All Atlantic title for long. Yeah, whoever they decide to make his next feud with, I think that's who it might be. You know, could it be personally? Be honest with you, I wouldn't mind them possibly allowing Dante Martin to win. It's enough for him for being a jobber. Enough of jobbing. He's a young kid who's in your, you've been in your developmental. You got him from whatever indie wrestling, but he made cutting his teeth in AEW. I know Taz put out a Twitter question to name all the AEW homegrown talent. He goes, "I'll sit here and wait and listen," and he didn't say who it was, but if you wrestled in the indies and you finally wrestle in the big promotion, either Impact, WWE, or AEW, then you're a homegrown talent. That's the way I'm going to see. I don't care if you put GCW or BCW or whatever thumbnail. If you didn't fight in those big years and you finally make it to a big promotion and you get over, I think that's, to me, I consider you homegrown. That's just me. I might, I could be wrong. You want to argue with me back and forth, we can have that debate. But the point is, I could see a Dante Martin run and get a title run. I don't want to see the Hook, not yet.
He is the FTW champion.
He
He's
okay.
still
That's just,
FTW championship.
it's like the $1 million belt. Okay,
Yeah.
got you. Um, uh, Jungle Boy had his run as tag team. Could he be another one who's a home? That's another homegrown talent.
Oh
Jungle
yeah.
Boy's another homegrown talent with them. Jack Perry. Those type of deals but it looks like it's going to be. Well, next available person I could see beating Orange Cassidy. You saw him had a match with his own best friends, Beretta.
They look
Which
like they're having a rivalry now. It looks like they're not best friends anymore.
that
Yeah.
I can see that. I don't see neither one winning. I don't see. It's not gonna happen when Miro's gonna come out of nowhere and get the title like everyone thinks should happen. I don't think so. I think Miro, his wife, is continue to bury him with the company. Personally.
Yep. And that kind of wraps up what we've been talking about tonight. And guys, AEW. Since we're on the topic of AEW, next week Wednesday in Los Angeles, California, we have some big matches ahead of you. We have Jamie Hayter and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, facing Tony Storm, quote unquote, Tony Storm, and Saraya. Another one is we have the tag team titles being up on the line with the Elite, Kenny Omega, Matt, and Nick going against the Death Triangle Pack, Ray Phoenix, and Penta. Another match, I think, is John Moxley and Hangman Adam Page. If you guys watched Rampage, Adam Page came on TV and said he is medically cleared to compete in the Forum on Wednesday. Is there
Yay.
any matches? Yay! Is there any other matches that I'm missing there, Kev?
Um, no, not that stood in my head to remember to write home about, other than that false accusation that it's going to be Mercedes, which other than that's the only reason why people are really going to tune in to. And
Yeah,
well,
next
you know
week
what's
I
the
can
good
see it in a
you know
mill.
what's the good thing about that though? When it comes to the con, man, all you have to wait until 9:30. That's it. All you have to wait until 9:30,
I bet.
9:25. You could turn it. You could even put it on. You don't have to waste your time. And there you go. You're gonna see the women's match. You're gonna see what's gonna happen, and boom, you'll find out right there, right then. You don't have to sit through the whole swap if
Yep.
that's not your cup of coffee. If that's not your cup of coffee, but I'm pretty sure you're gonna want to watch the 6-man tag because that's gonna be good.
Oh
That's gonna
yeah,
be good.
that's gonna be good, and don't expect the elite to pick up. I mean, expect the elite to pick up a win. Obviously, it's in Los Angeles.
I'm
I don't
going
want them
against
to
that.
win. I don't. Yeah,
I'm going.
I don't want the elite to win.
I think I'm going against that. I think Death Triangle wins there. Everyone thinks because that's their hometown, but Darby already had the hometown. Then they're going to be too predictable. People they don't want to. They want to leave you an element of surprise. And man, I think personally, I think it's going to be Death Triangle wins it here, and it's going to be a total sign on why. And because I still keep to it, I think Omega doesn't resign with AEW for a little bit. I think he will eventually go back to the company, but he won't resign or stay in New Japan. As DJG Gary, salute. Who saw the stupid referee cost the Bloodline to lose on the WWF live show? Oh yes, that was Jessica Hahn. Not Jessica Hahn. Jessica. Oh, what was her? What's her last name?
I don't know. Was this the referee that hit the stunner on Sammy?
Yes, on Sammy Guevara.
I saw that.
Sammy Zayn.
Sammy Guevara.
We were talking about AEW. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. Hey, but yeah, I saw that too. That's another loss for the Bloodline. That was earlier. Was that earlier this month or was that in
That was
December?
that was in Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken. Gary, was that in Atlanta or was it in? Yeah, I think that was in Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken, on the
Yeah, so that would have
WWE
been in
holiday
December.
tour. That was on
Yeah.
the holiday tour there. And what's that referee's name? I know it's Jessica. Um,
I saw her. She always posts on Twitter, like, "Oh, get ready for SmackDown." She posts like her gym pics, and then she also posts her and her referee shirt. Ready
yes,
for
and she's
SmackDown.
also and she was that this is not the first time we see the ref do that before. Audrey as well has done that in the AEW. Just hit a Stone Cold Stunner. That's not, it's uncharacteristic, but it is what it is.
Yep. And do you want to say anything else here? Um,
Yes, I wanted one more thing. I couldn't find her. I thought I had her. I know I follow her and vice versa, to get her proper name. But yes, definitely New Year's Evil coming up Tuesday as well as Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw, it was going to be also electric. That will be coming up in the day before tomorrow. Tomorrow it's going to be fun. Hopefully the crowd in Monday Night Raw will be electric. Will be not that snooze fest. My goodness, in
Jesus Christ.
Nashville. Please, if
Yep.
anyone who's going to that Monday Night Raw, please be electric. Please, have fun. First and foremost, don't force it. Go out there and have fun. If it's not fun, then it's not fun. We can't force it, but please go out there and have fun. I'm not expecting to be a AEW crowd, but at least show some type of excitement.
Yep. Don't be like Don't be like Nashville. Don't be don't be over there being boring and sitting on your phones and yawning and pretty much sleeping while watching the matches. Don't do that. Show up. Let's have a good Raw. Let's have a good New Year's Evil. And yeah, I can't wait for NXT. I'm getting every single day that I'm seeing all these advertisements on Twitter. I'm getting excited and excited. More excited. So yeah.
Right. Right, and if any, and of course, we have a message. We got a couple message here. The first message here. We know that this man has returned back to the WWE. First day on the job. I hope it doesn't go the way it worked about the first time around in the WWE.
Who?
I don't know about. What do you mean you don't know? Oh, wait. It gets better than that. That's what I thought. I knew it. Oh, no. He is not going to do this. Yeah, this is going to be great. You do want to be employed, don't you? It's a good job, believe me. You want it, don't you? So, are you ready? There it is. Look at that.
Regal. Hopefully he doesn't need to go through that again.
Yep. Welcome back, William Regal, and welcome back, Vince McMahon. So
Indeed, but the final say that I gotta say here, if he does come out on Monday Night Raw, I hope they got some smart people there that is gonna let him know exactly how they feel.
Joe.
Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the laugh here. We'll be all right.
You people bought a ticket to see me, so shut up.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no control.
Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you live under a rock,
I might grab a bat, I don't know. My rap, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you gon' wish you was just a fuck up real bad.
Shut up.
Be the villain! And I have no problem at all, because I couldn't care less. If you like me or not, I'm here for success. And there's no one more successful than Grayson Waller.